Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping right into the hospitality and tourism sector, really focusing in on the Asia-Pacific region.
Yeah, it's a busy space right now. Our goal is basically to connect the dots between what's happening financially, the big construction projects, and maybe most importantly, who's moving where, the talent.
Exactly. We call them the stars in motion because, look, you can learn a lot from a balance sheet, sure, but seeing who gets tapped for the big roles, that tells you where the real energy and, frankly, the money is headed.
It absolutely does. It shows strategy in action. Are they beefing up corporate sales,
Yeah.
expanding regionally, launching something huge? The appointments tell the story.
So let's start right there. Let's track these leadership shifts, these stars in motion. Who's making moves and what does it signal? Seems like a lot happening down in Australia and New Zealand especially.
There really is. Kicking off in New Zealand, look at Rachel Findlay. She's now Director of Sales Corporate Conferencing and Incentives at Millennium Hotels and Resorts.
Okay, so that's straight into the MIC market, high value stuff.
Precisely. High margin, high value. A very clear strategic push there. Then, thinking about operations, particularly that crucial regional leisure market.
The parks and resort side.
Yeah, Michael Foster is now the acting general manager of operations at NRMA Parks and Resorts. That suggests, a continued focus on really nailing that domestic holiday experience, which is still so important.
And we can't ignore the tech side of operations. Saw a key move there too.
Oh, absolutely. Hayden Ost. Now, the strategic partnerships lead for APAC at Canary Technologies. That's significant
Because
because it signals that streamlining the tech stack, check-in, guest services, back-end efficiency is a major priority for growth across the whole region. Seamless tech is becoming table stakes.
right, and it's not just the global players shuffling the deck. We're seeing specialist groups gear up too.
Definitely. You've got Chris Kern stepping in as COO at Salter Brothers Hospitality, and Andrew Edzer, he's now portfolio manager at Mandala Hotel Resorts. They focus specifically on regional hotel management in Australia.
So these roles are about managing growth across multiple properties, not just one launch.
Exactly. Portfolio strategy, maximizing returns across the board.
Okay, but maybe the most telling moves right now, connecting people directly to future projects, are happening at TFE Hotels in Brisbane, preparing for the Olympics way out, it seems.
It's textbook strategic planning, laying the groundwork years in advance. So first, you have Sue Rowe. She's the new GM for Adina Chermside Brisbane. Her focus, pre-opening.
Just getting that specific property ready to launch.
Exactly. It's a 148-key property, opens early 2026. Pre-opening is critical, needs dedicated leadership. And then, to manage their broader city presence.
They brought in Bree Hill.
Yes, as a cluster general manager, she's overseeing both Adina Brisbane and Adina Anzac Square. That cluster role is key.
Why's that?
It signals a drive for unified strategy, shared resources, maximizing efficiency across properties in the same market. Very smart ahead of an event like the Olympics.
Okay, one more on the people front, James David.
Ah, yes. New GM at Novotel Melbourne Glen Waverley. Interesting because it's suburban. Suggests they still see strong potential in those corporate markets outside the absolute core CBD.
Right, so these leaders are stars in motion. They're basically stepping onto a moving train, yeah. Because there's this huge wave of development and rebranding happening right now.
That's the perfect segue. These new projects they're managing, they're not just standard hotels. Think luxury, lifestyle, mixed use.
Yeah.
It's getting much more complex.
Okay, let's unpack some of these. Melbourne first. TFE's Hannah Saint Hotel. December 2025 opening date. They're calling it a living gallery.
Yeah, and the location is everything. Right near that massive $1.7 billion arts precinct redevelopment gives them instant cultural context.
But it's more than just location, right? The design.
Oh, definitely. Flax studio interiors, lots of custom art. They're even highlighting specific local pieces, like the Queensbridge Owl sculpture by Joelle Mayberry. It's all about feeling, authentically Melbourne.
They mentioned some creative amenities, too, like a podcast studio. Parisian Terrace, is that a real draw or just marketing buzz?
It's probably a bit of both. But it feeds into their whole live like a local narrative for South Bank's 15-minute neighborhood concept. It's about offering an experience, not just a room. That's the expectation now, especially at the higher end.
Okay. Meanwhile, the big global brands, IHG, Hyatt, they're pushing their lifestyle flags hard across APAC. IHG's going regional, too.
Yep. Voco Gosford. Also opening December 1st, 2025. That'll be their 5th Voco in Australia. It's part of the Archibald precinct there.
And Voco's positioning is that blend of independent feel with global backing.
Exactly. It's a soft brand. Good fit for regional centers that want unique character, but still need the reliability, the loyalty programs of a major player.
And IHG's got that long-term play in Parramatta, Sydney's second CBD.
Correct. The Crown Plaza Parramatta, that's looking further out, 2029, right opposite the station, 217 rooms. And yes, it's got the rooftop infinity pool, almost standard issue now for that segment.
Shifting over to Hyatt, they seem to be really innovating with the Andaz brand, especially in Hong Kong.
They really are. The Andaz Hong Kong Central, opening 2027 in Central Crossing. The big story there, I think, is the Andaz Village.
What is that exactly?
It's described as a bespoke retail and lifestyle hub within the hotel precinct, apparently the world's first. So the hotel itself becomes a destination, not just a place to stay. That's a major step up in integrating local experience.
Interesting. And Andaz is pushing into Japan, too.
Yeah, Andaz Hiroshima, also 2027, taking the top floors 21st to 31st of a new mixed-use tower. Prime real estate, again, in a culturally significant city.
Okay, so we've got these big city lifestyle plays, but you mentioned regional investment is still crucial. We linked Sue Row to the Adina Chermside Brisbane.
Right, opening February 2026, 148 keys, directly supports their presence building towards the 2032 Olympics. Smart timing.
And over in New Zealand, Blenheim.
The Alfred Hotel in Blenheim. Construction just started. They made a point of noting the Wakarite Winu Blessing, the traditional Maori land preparation ceremony.
So grounding it locally from day one.
Seems like it. That's set for 2027, part of a wider hospitality precinct. And then you got major refurbs, too. Existing assets getting new life.
Like Geelong.
Exactly. The Bayside Geelong Hotel, it has joined the Ascend Collection. Multi-million-dollar transformation. Big focus on sustainability, accessibility, 10 accessible rooms, which is great to see, and a new restaurant, Franca's Ristorante, overlooking the bay.
And finally, an Adelaide icon getting a makeover. The Mayfair.
Yeah, the heritage-listed Mayfair Hotel dates back to 1934. IHG is rebranding it as the Kimpton Mayfair Adelaide. Big renovations underway, reopening late 2026. Kimpton's a strong lifestyle brand for them.
Okay, so we've got the people, the stars in motion. We've got these huge, often quite ambitious new properties and rebrands. What's fueling all this? Let's look at the financials, the market pulse.
Right, because you need the money, obviously. And a big part of the story, especially in Australia right now, is event-driven demand.
You mean like sports?
Absolutely. Think the Lions Tour, the NRL and AFL Grand Finals. Those alone generated something like a $75 million boost to hotel revenues this year, 2025.
75 million, wow.
Yeah, it's significant. And reliable income. You saw Sydney hit, 96% occupancy during the NRL final weekend. Events are fundamental revenue drivers here.
Okay, so events are propping up the numbers locally. What about the big global brand performance? How's IHG looking?
Well, IHG's Q3 2025 numbers showed global revenue per available room up 1.4% year to date, which sounds okay, maybe a little modest.
But there's more to it.
Yeah, you have to look regionally. EMEA, Europe, Middle East, Africa, and Asia is actually up 3.8%. That's strong. It's basically carrying the average because Greater China is lagging a bit, down 2.6%, likely due to some specific market issues there.
So the underlying engine in most regions is pretty solid. What about their pipeline, their future plans?
That's where the real confidence shows. Their pipeline of new hotels is up a massive 18% compared to last year. And they've publicly said they're launching a whole new premium collection brand soon. They're absolutely doubling down on growth.
And Accor, similar story, especially at the luxury end.
Very much so. Accor's Q3 2025 was strong enough for them to upgrade their full-year profit guidance, recurring EBITDA, to 11-12% growth. Their real powerhouse is the luxury lifestyle division. RevPAR there grew 5%.
Outperforming their other segments significantly then.
Clearly. And they're getting the accolades to match. 3 of their hotels, including the Sofitel Legend Metropole in Hanoi, just got Michelin keys. That kind of recognition reinforces their luxury positioning.
Okay, so brands are confident, but let's talk acquisitions, it seems. Mixed. We see big institutional buys, but also some sharp price drops. What's the story there?
It is a bit complex. You've got major players like Daiwa House REIT in Japan buying a Tokyo hotel for over JPY 10 billion. That shows continued institutional belief in core markets.
But then Hong Kong, that Ovalo central sale, a 51% drop from its 2021 price. That sounds alarming.
It's definitely eye-catching. A 51% drop is steep. It really seems to reflect some very specific pressures or maybe distress in that particular Hong Kong micro market, maybe for that asset type. Doesn't seem to be a widespread APAC trend, though.
How do we know it's isolated?
Well, contrast that with Indonesia, where First REIT just sold a hotel for a 22.2% premium over what they originally paid. So it really underscores how localized APAC markets are. You just can't generalize.
Right. Context is everything.
Hmm.
Okay, and tying finance back to quality and niche appeal. We should mention elements of Byron, shouldn't we?
Absolutely. Winning Best Hotel or Resort focused on wellness at the Spa and Wellness Awards. It proves that deep focus on a specific guest need, in this case, high-end wellness, really pays off both critically and, you'd assume, financially.
Okay, so pulling all this together, the people, the projects, the performance, what are the big takeaways for you, for the listener?
I think there are three main connected trends emerging really clearly across APAC hospitality right now. First, executive talent, our stars in motion, is highly strategic and increasingly localized. Companies are putting key people, especially Australia and New Zealand, to manage this next wave.
Makes sense. Second.
Second, the growth focus is shifting decisively towards lifestyle and mixed-use developments. Properties that are destinations in themselves, offering unique experiences, like that Hannah St. Living Gallery or the Andaz Village concept. It's moving beyond just providing a bed.
And the third trend.
Third, certainly for Australia, major events are still a massive, predictable driver of revenue. Things like the Lions Tour, looking ahead to the Brisbane Olympics.
Yeah.
They justify the huge capital investment we're seeing right now.
So the industry's really accelerating, isn't it? Led by these key people we've talked about, investing in places that try to weave in local culture, local flavor, like that Queensbridge Owl you mentioned.
Exactly. And that leads to a really interesting, maybe provocative final thought for you to mull over.
Given this huge push from global giants like Hyatt and IHG to expand their lifestyle brands across APAC, how crucial, really, is authentic, integrated local flavor? The custom art, the unique concepts like Andaz Village. How much does that truly matter for long-term success and pricing power compared to just the sheer strength and familiarity of a global brand name? Where's the balance? Something to think about.